First and second we will recite together. Vacho vegam manasakrodha vegam jihva vegam udaropastha vegam etan vegan yo vishaheta dhirah sarvamapi ma pratibim sashishya अत्याहार प्रयासस्य प्रजल्पो नियमाग्रहः जनसहस्रस्य भक्तिर्विनश्यति उत्साहान्निश्चयधैर्या तत्कर्म प्रवर्धना संगत्यागात् सतो वृत्तिर्भक्तिर्प्रसिद्ध्यति. So, we have been discussing anything else to be done this much of time. Yeah, it's pressed. Pressed. So we had been discussing long ago our Upadeshamrit. Rupa Goswami has mentioned this as Amrit, nectar of instruction. And of all the instruction, this is considered as Amrit. Why? Because nectar is essence and it is life-giving. So these instructions are actually life-giving to bhakti. And it is essence of all instructions. That's why it is very short. But when Vedanta is also very short. Vedanta is very long, but when he wanted to condense it, he made it into sutra. So that's why they are called as Vedanta Sutra. And Vedanta Sutra, if you just take one, for example, one sutra. First one is Athato Brahma Jignasa. What is the meaning? Athato Brahma Jignasa means what? Okay. What is Om Brahma? Athato Brahma Jignasa. Sune kabhi? Long ago. Brahma Jignasa. Jignasa means curiosity, inquisitiveness for self-realization, Brahman. So, after taking a human form of life, one should actually inquire about Brahma Jignasa. This is just in one shloka. Now, this can be elaborated for pages together. And there is one more Vedanta Sutra. There are so many Vedanta Sutras. Anavrittihi Shabdat. What is the meaning of this? Anavrittihi Shabdat. Any of you heard?
Sound.
That is this Anavrittihi. Anavrittihi means Anavrittihi is actually winding up. The creation has manifested in through sound, and wind up also happens through sound only. Anavrittihi Shabdat also means. So now this can be elaborated. So just by this people, how now if you understand, wind up happens through sound. When you hear this, what do you understand? It looks very meaningless or very complex, isn't it? Cryptic. So Vedanta Sutras are like that. That is shloka. That is Bhagavatam shloka. So Vedanta Sutras are only very small. Yes. So the commentary on Vedanta Sutra is Bhagavatam. That's why Bhagavatam also begins with the same Janmadhyasya, the same, like that. That is Vedanta Sutra first, Janmadhyasya. So now, why we are discussing, so Upadeshamrita is also like that. It's in sutra form, and it gives the essence of everything. So though it is Amrita, but sadhakas may not feel it as Amrita. In the beginning, we may feel it is more like a chikitsa, or we may feel more like what did they say? Medicine in the yeah, aushadhi. So people may feel it as aushadhi than Amrita, but actually aushadhi itself is Amrita. So there are many rasayana in Ayurveda. Rasayana is actually meant to give life energy. It can actually increase your life and it can increase your ayush also. It can double. There are like that. So that is the so nectar is like that. So Upadesha. That's why Rupa Goswami has mentioned it as Upadesha Amrita. So the first Amrita drop is the first verse, which says that if you want what yeah, if you want to have disciples, it says if at all you want to have goal of self realization, then you have to control six urges. That is the first shloka. So see how many people are there in cricket. Uh, how many people are there in cricket stadium playing? 12 people are there. And how many people are watching cricket? Thousands? Lakhs. Lakhs. Crores of people all over India. You know, crores of people are there. All are watching cricket. But how many people are playing? So, spirituality is also like that. Many people are many people are clapping. Many people are very they are also saying Jai Krishna consciousness ki Jai. Many people also say that devotional service is very nice. But actually to play on the ground. So Rupa Goswami says one has to control these six urges. And then naturally after some time, see clappers will be there how long? As long as the match's performance is going on. But behind the scenes, all these performers, how many years of practice? Not now. There are many people of practice also, you know. But how many practitioners are committed, dedicated? That then the filtration naturally it reduces very much. Very few committed, sincere, dedicated. So they are the ones who actually play on the ground, and so like that. So Rupa Goswami is mentioning that these are the uh, six urges which need to be controlled. And then when one controls them, but somebody may say that these urges are very almost impossible to control. You see, the one urge itself is, you see, vacho vegam. He says first only big blocker. See, it's easy to control other senses, but to control tongue is more tough. And it is said one who has gained control over his tongue, he can control all other senses. So gaining control over tongue is more tough. So tongue has two functionalities. One is to eat, and another is to speak. So and then he says vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam, and the urge of mind also is very strong. The urge of mind is what? To speculate. And the urge of mind is also to unlimitedly increase one's desires. It just you give one small thing, it will multiply. The urge of mind is like that. So see, the whole material world is created how? By mind. Huh? First, before this house, before house is manifested, first it manifests in mind. Huh? So then, so everything is actually moving through mind only. The mind is the storehouse of all desires. So that's how mind is. So that's why controlling mind means controlling this. Manasa krodha. Krodha also expands with small irritation and it can flame. Manasa Krodha Vegam, Jihva Vegam. Now, Vacha and Jihva both are tongue only, but one is of speech, another is of taste. So, and you see next, Jihva Vegam, Udara. That is also tasting only. What is the difference? Jihva Vegam. See, Vacha is speech, Jihva is of tongue, and Udara is of. So, what is the difference? Jihva and. Huh? Tendency to fill. One is to taste new varieties. Another is to keep filling it. Even if it is filled, still feels that I need a little more. So that is belly. Jiva, Udara, Upastha. So the last one is Upastha, to control genitals. So and all these Vegas they're called as Vega. Vega means there is a great speed, and it doesn't say this nowadays electric bikes now, and this you do little, it'll take you very fast. Great acceleration, great pickup speed is there. So these Vegas are like that. As soon as they get you, just give a touch, immediately they take you on a. So that's why now, if there is no control, what happens? Immediately we go and hit somewhere. So that's why now it requires control. But the problem is control nobody likes. If see, full freedom, everyone is very happy. But as soon as something is being controlled, then it becomes a little painful. But he says that if they are not controlled, there is accident. And in accident, one harms himself and one harms others. And ultimately, he'll not be happy himself. So that's why he says this need to be controlled. But it may look like a big ocean wave. Someone is asked to control it, it becomes almost one loses hope that I don't think I can make it ever. So one gives up hope. And so that's why Rupa Goswami doesn't stop at this point. He says how to do this. So to achieve this, he gives next two verses. The next two verses are meant to tell a devotee that so if at all you want to achieve this, how to do? That is, you need to change your lifestyle. So somebody may say that somebody may see many people may appreciate. I was telling cricket while playing in the stadium. Very nice, very nice. Come on. They may cheer up everyone. But when they are asked, so do you want to practice? They say no. I'm happy watching it. You see, many people are also happy. ISKCON is doing very nice, and they're doing so much bhakti, and they're doing so much welfare. All that many people are happy watching or appreciating, giving good. They are good, happy, being well wishers. But when you are asked them to, so then when one is asked to change lifestyle to suit one's practice, then the crowd naturally reduces. That becomes focused. So he says it requires lifestyle change. Why lifestyle change is required? To control urges. Why? Anybody would like to give your insight? Why lifestyle change is required to control urges? Huh? Simple, huh?
Without, you can't control it without lifestyle change. Just like for example, in Ayurveda, something he needs to do, he control his diet also. He to get completely through whole package.
Yeah.
If not, it can't. Similarly,
The Ayurveda, he's giving an example. That suppose somebody has a disease, so doctor says that along with this medicine, you need to follow patya.
Proper time.
Patya is what? Some do's and don'ts. You should follow all this, and you should not all these things you should not allow. So some do's and some don'ts. Must do's must to be done and must not to be done. So second shloka tells must do's, and the third shloka says must don't. No. First he says must don'ts, 6 don'ts, and then another 6 do's. That is in third shloka. So, and the fourth shloka is so he says, if you only want these do's and don'ts, that I will not tell. I will I will tell when I'm actually when we have completed the second shloka. Actually, I'll just do revision today of second shloka so that after long time we are coming back. So then we'll go to third and then fourth. So can we? I think second we have completed, isn't it? So as per the so again we'll recite. Atyahara prayasascha प्रजल्पो नियमाग्रहः जनसङ्गश्च लौल्यं च निर्भक्तिर्विनश्यति. He says don'ts. That means they uproot, they vanish bhakti creeper, or they dry up the bhakti creeper. They annihilate completely. So these are the six. Atyahara is what? We'll read one. Atyahara is what? Overeating. Overeating. So, or too much collecting. So, Ati Ahara is what? Food. So, food for belly is one. Actually, it is food for all senses. Here, the Ahara is not only food for belly. Ahara means it can be food for any senses. So, Ati, that means over. That means what is required is called, what is required is not condemned. But overdoing is only problem. Undernourishment is also not encouraged. Overnourishment is also not encouraged. Optimal nourishment is what is required. Sense gratification, when we say, many times we hear this word. Sense gratification means what? Over. Over only is called sense gratification. But what is optimal is called sensual satisfaction. Sensual satisfaction is required for even for normal functioning of the body, even for to live in this world and to do any activities. Sensual satisfaction is not condemned. Sensual now sense after eating it, one should feel satisfied. See, sometimes now when we eat, also still we are not satisfied. That craving is there. So that means we have not eaten either right amount or we have not eaten right type of food because now it has not satisfied. See, after eating, let's say if there is after one has had food, again there is vada pav on the train. Then immediately tongue will say, no, I want to eat again. Now that means it's actually the one is not satisfied. So now essential satisfaction means if one has eaten it, so then there is no craving for again. At least for next 3 hours there should not be craving. 3-4 hours till the next meal. And that is one thing. And also undernourishment means there should not be craving. Suppose if one is feeling hungry and one is just suppressing it, that is also not I think encouraged. So both are both create problem. That's why Krishna speaks what in Bhagavad Gita? Yukta ahara. Yukta means optimal, and also that which is which harmonizes whole body, mind, and soul. Because most of the times, when one is filling up, giving food for any senses, one is naturally thinking of just bodily immediate demand. But what Krishna says is give such a food to the senses, which will food means I am actually talking out in general for all senses, not just the tongue, but in general for all senses. So what Krishna says, give it in a way that is harmonizing whole body, mind, and soul, not just body, but mind also has to be taken care. After taking it, whether my mind is agitated or whether my mind is peaceful, and whether it is beneficial for my Krishna consciousness, soul, or whether it is harmful for my soul. So this is what is atyahara, overeating. So then overeating actually causes, you see, overeating naturally causes indolence, inertia, laziness, and it causes oversleep. So that's why atyahara. And less ahara causes what? Inaction, weakness. And so both are a problem. Like that. So that's why Krishna says over. That's why Rupa Goswami is putting this over. The over sense gratification is a problem. You see, the whole Western world is in so much of over sense gratification. It has gone to its limits. It has gone to out of the boundaries. So they have reckless. So then you see the people. Their minds are not in control. So all that problems are in there in this atyahara. Over collection also. Collection of what? Money, which is because that gives that gives access to all other foods, all other sense gratification. That's why over, anything is over is a problem. Okay. If any other points are there, I'll just okay. I will complete, and if there is anything else, I will later. Okay. So there is one more. Why he wants to collect more and more? What is the reason? Why his soul is wanting to collect more and more? What is the reason?
Because its nature is all wealthy, all beauty.
Very good. Because he is actually he is a son of Krishna, son or daughter of Krishna, child of God. So that means if Krishna is most wealthy, then he also has that nature. So, but the problem is in this material world, that vacancy is there, that emptiness is there. So he wants to fill the same, but now because he doesn't have anything else, so whatever is available, he is wanting to just fill it up. His heart is actually empty. So if the heart is filled with Krishna, then there is no desire for over accumulation in this material world. So that emptiness is actually being filled by matter, but that matter is not going to give satisfaction. That's why he wants more again. Why there is no satisfaction? Because he's filling it up with matter like that. Okay. What is next point? Prayasa. So prayasa is also prayasa is what? Over endeavoring. Endeavor is what? Over endeavor. Huh? What?
It's difficult to go through for enduring.
Yes. Over endeavor. Now Krishna Prem is most difficult to get.
That is
And we are over endeavoring.
difficult.
Huh?
Over enduring exhibition. But
Ah.
for material things.
Over endeavor for material things it is actually. It is not for spiritual. This is applicable for material things. Okay. So over endeavor in material life is actually condemned. Now, when people hear this, they become very anti to devotees.
How depends.
Oh, they are killing our ambition. They are killing our spirit of achievements, visions. So now, so what do you say for all this? Uh,
Doubt is like over enduring in Krishna consciousness.
okay, doubt in, but I want to achieve materially also.
But how much control
Stop.
last. Control.
Okay, control.
Regulate.
Regulate. Okay.
Otherwise, we can't see where we are going to.
Hmm.
While we are trials are doing and other things get affected by our psychological and other things we neglect.
Yes.
That is not the only thing we are after.
Hmm. So now, usually, there is one example which is given. Suppose somebody is driving car and another person is sitting, and he's driving very fast. He's going in 120, 150, 180 kilometer per hour on NH. And the person who's beside is afraid. And he's asking, so where are you taking me? Where are you taking me? He said, shh, shh, don't ask. I want to cross this speed limit. So people are always in the mood of they want something exciting, sensational, adventurous. Uh, they just want to. You see, some people are there now. They should not see any other car in front of them. As soon as they want to overtake. They everything they see ahead, they want to overtake. So that is the mindset or mentality. So they don't want to see anybody ahead. So they feel that I only should be ahead always, and everyone else should be behind me. So then over endeavor. Then to do that, what happens? He's always in the mood of overtaking, but he's not in the mood of where am I going. That thought is only not crossing the mind. Now, there was one person who was always overtaking, and this wife was also there. She was telling she was increasing, adding more fuel to him. So you overtake. So when such a partner is there, it becomes more tough. Already that inner instinct is there to overtake, and another person is to add more fuel. Then the guard is going to crash. So then, so again he was overtaking, and 20 kilometer ahead he went. And then after that he knew that I was supposed to take left to my home. So the same thing will happen in life if one doesn't get this point. Over endeavor leads to lack of spiritual fulfillment. And over many years, then that still heart is not satisfied. So over endeavor leads to, and by that the body energy, mental energy is already expended. That means it's already now there is no bodily energy there. At that time, not able to focus because already when too many things are already created, it becomes very tough to focus because any material thing is what it is said now simple. Keep material life simple, but this statement is very very tough to digest. Why material life should be simple? Real life should be, but I cannot compromise what Rupa Goswami is saying. I cannot. But yesterday only I think all of you are hearing, no? Huh? Yesterday only all of you are hearing. Material life should be simple, है Simple living, I think Maharaj is speaking. Uh, okay, anybody would like to share what? Not story. All of you heard story, but after that, just one or two liners. What Maharaj is trying to say. Why material life should be simple? Maharaj said. What does it do? Why material life has to be kept simple? Huh?
Peaceful mind, calms down the mind.
Peaceful. Okay. Okay. What else?
Peaceful mind is conducive for bhakti.
Peaceful mind is actually conducive for bhakti. Very good. Very good. Fine. Otherwise, without peace, agitated. You see the water. If it is agitated, you cannot see. If you want to see your own reflection also, if it is agitated, you cannot see.
Simplicity is the basis of for happiness.
Simplicity is the basis for happiness. Okay.
More you try to solve the problem materially, that will get entangled.
Ah.
Sorry.
Yes.
His life was simple before.
Yes.
He made it complex.
Yes.
So he lost happiness.
Yes. Yeah, I think Maharaj also says in that lecture uh, that if at all you want to see, person possesses more, thinking that it will give me happiness, luxury, and that it gives me. But any material thing doesn't doesn't come automatically. It has one fault. what is the fault with material object is to get it, you should work very hard. After getting it, you have to spend a lot of time and energy to maintain it. So material objects are like that. That's why he says keep it simple. Otherwise, once after accumulation, then you see there are sometimes 4 5 cars people have, and people keep they keep one employee to keep it clean every day. And now he has to pay for it. And now to pay, he has to work. Otherwise, if he had maybe one car, he himself would also clean. But to maintain sometimes status people have. So now, I don't want to take it to another extreme of saying, now sometimes people are already born with that luxury. And for them, they have a lot of wealth stinking. Now for them, they don't have to work hard to get it. So they have already. So they can do expenditure. Now for them to maintain is not a big problem. So this verse is individually, what is simple may not be same for all. So we don't have to, different people are born with different luxuries in this world. Whatever one is born with and whatever one can easily get it without much. So that is okay. But see, to get it, but if it occupies our mind, then that's what is a problem. Now material complexities are what? It occupies mind. It occupies mental space. So that's why devotee has to be take care. So that's why prayasa, and that mind actually keeps the body engaged in material work. That's why this prayasa is actually a big problem. You see nowadays, Prabhupada is saying, so everyone is engaged in Ugra Karma. So the big trendsetters, actually, they are actually quite wealthy, well off, and they are actually living life peacefully. But they have created a trend in such a way that they are making the whole world work very hard. They create things in such a way, or the way they design, they manipulate. Actually, it requires fine intelligence to penetrate through it and to understand whether what these fellows are doing. The big trendsetters, the world, big economists, they are changing the whole gear of the entire mass. Actually, sometimes it is very pathetic. You see, if you see so many industries, this automobile industry or garage, so many places, people are working there. See, so much whole thing is covered with thick black, and they're working morning till night, and always working with those machines, and sometimes hardly getting sunlight, hardly getting proper food, and all those petroleum products. Sleep also, and they are working. So many people are working whole night shifts. So what will happen to their whole system after? And if they get big diseases, who's going to? As if the companies are going to give any insurance for them. So very difficult. Okay. So then these two lead to what? Next, Prajalpa. Prajalpa is what? It's of course it is over talking or idle talking, or can you all give me little different viewpoints on Prajalpa? What else can be Prajalpas? Here it is told idle talk, but just idle talk. What else?
Anything which is not connected to Krishna consciousness.
Anything which is not connected to Krishna consciousness.
Gossiping.
Gossiping.
Necessarily.
Gossip. Gossip also is which is unnecessary. Unnecessary is called as gossip. Or that which is not truthful. This is also gossip. What else? Prajalpa. What else comes under Prajalpa?
Mental politics.
Mental speculation also comes under Prajalpa.
Politics.
Politics also comes. Why politics comes under Prajalpa?
It's not connected to.
Okay.
And, if we also discuss, nothing is going to change.
This is an important point. Politicians discussing on politics is not Prajalpa for them. Why? For them, they are supposed to, that is their profession, or that's what they are supposed to do. But it becomes a Prajalpa for us because we are not going to change anything. Is it purposeful talk? So devotee should always be mindful of what he's talking, because what one talks, immediately mind is also connected with it, and immediately mind brings in many more ideas, and it brings in many more, and it sets a direction, tone, and one's life. So that's why, and you see, by sometimes people, when they keep talking, over talking, their mind also gets agitated. So that's why mind and speech are connected actually. So you see, when mind also becomes agitated, people talk more. And when people talk more, their mind also gets agitated. So these are actually connected. So that's why Krishna speaks in Bhagavad Gita, austerity of mind. In austerity of speech also he says austerity of body, mind and speech. These three things Krishna speaks. In austerity of speech, Krishna says anudvega karam vakyam, satyam priyam hitam chayat, swadhyaya abhyasanam chaiva, vanmayam tapochyati. And what does he say for austerity of mind? I'll show all of you. Um, if you can open 1716.
1760.
Doctor 16. See, it says Manas Prasada Saumyatvam. All of you can recite. Maunam Atma Vinigraha. Bhava Samshuddhirityetat. Tamo Manasamuchyate. It says Manaprasada. Manaprasada is satisfaction of mind. So satisfaction. So mind, there is craving. Mind. So that's what actually leads to external self gratification. So but mind has to be kept satisfied. So now this is told as austerity. So that means, so satisfaction is a result or satisfaction is a action. But here it is told as action. So that means satisfaction also has to be practiced. So now I may not be satisfied, but satisfaction has to be cultivated. So it says Manaprasada, Saumyatvam. No duplicity. Maunam is what? Gravity. And actually Maunam is here silence of mind. It is not silence of talk. Otherwise Krishna would have spoken in austerity of speech. He didn't speak in austerity of speech. He spoke in austerity of mind. So Maunam has to be there as a part of mind. Then naturally the tongue is controlled. Atma Vinigraha. So all these are different. Okay, I just wanted to focus on Maunam. So Prajalpa. Can you go back to previous sloka? So Prajalpa is idle talking. So one has to control talking which is not connected to Krishna consciousness, or which is not purposeful for his occupation, or for whatever is not purposeful for his. So how do we define the purpose? So this is also important. Somebody may say, no, I have this purpose. I want to know what is going on. What is the cricket score? That is my purpose. How do we define what is purpose? Purposeful talk. How do we define purposeful talk?
Is
Help us to achieve goal.
something
Help us
you
to
need to be advanced for, something you need to spiritually awaken, something you should happen.
Spiritually. Okay, okay, spiritually it is understandable. Now, materially, what material talk can be prajalpa, what material talk cannot be, what material talk can be necessary. How do we understand? Now, can we say that okay, spiritual talk is only to be done? Now you may have to study for your class exam, and you may have to discuss what questions, what are important questions. You may have to discuss. Now, will that be prajalpa?
No.
So how do we decide what is prajalpa or what is not prajalpa? See, in spiritual things are very clear. Whether you are discussing about Krishna Katha, you are discussing about Seva, you are discussing about your personal, all that spiritual growth, all that is clear. But how do we understand materially what is prajalpa, what is not prajalpa?
The talk is any output. Proper.
It is giving output to you.
For example, see, talking about movies,
Huh.
there is no output. Only it is gratification from mind.
Okay. Okay. Talking
Yeah,
about movies.
materially we have some duties too.
Ah.
If that comes in that field, that we are parent, son of somebody,
Yes.
student of somebody,
Yes.
and we have material some duties. So if anything talks related to that, it is there.
Talk connected to our duties is not called prajalpa.
Yes.
Though it is a material talk, if it is only material, if our material talk without Krishna consciousness only regarding duties is there, that is another thing. That is called Shrama Yovahi Kevalam. That they are not talking about. So now the question is about material talk, but it is not that all material talks are condemned. But if it is connected to our duties, then it is not discouraged. Clear? Okay. Next is what? Niyamagraha. See, agraha and agraha, two words are there. One is what? Too much attachment or too much neglect. Both are problem. Niyama, when we become too much attached to niyama, then it also causes problem. Let's say some our devotees have exam, or our devotees are sick. At that time, our Kirtan Das Prabhu will tell. Of course, Kirtan Das Prabhu is he's more mild, but maybe I'm. Suppose if one is and not concerned and only focusing on rules. Then what happens? Too much over rules without consideration. That leads to dryness. Dryness in relationships, dryness in bhakti also. And so too much rules are also a problem. Now, too less of rules, no problem. One, whenever you want, you can come. Even if you don't come, no problem. That is okay. That also is a problem. So both are problem. So then what to do? Optimal. So that is what is actually required. So not too strict in a way which causes, which hampers bhakti, and which hampers body, harmonizing body, mind and soul, and also which hampers his bhakti. And also suppose if it causes too much neglect, too much being loose, that means one is not purposeful, one is not achieving the goal only. So suppose one is keeping the car always very clean, but not using the car. What is the use? What is the use of investment? So like that, so one has to be careful of niyamagraha and janasanga. Why janasanga is mentioned? This janasanga is the root which leads to all other problems. This janasanga is the one which causes atyahara. This is the one which causes ati prayas. This is the one which causes Ati Prajalpa. And this is the one which causes Niyamagraha. Why? Because Janasangha is the root or the source where our desires are formed, our intentions are corrupted, our uh, um, our lifestyles changed, and this is where our most of the habits we gain or break habits. Gain or break, both happens Janasangha. That's why Rupa Goswami mentions this in next sloka also again. In two places, he is mentioning the same thing. So that is to repeat, and that means to emphasize. Jana Sangha is very vital because if we don't have right Sangha, very difficult. See, if we have a right Sangha, we can go back to Godhead. If we don't have a right Sangha, even if there is association, we cannot go back to Godhead. So Jana Sangha is actually very vital. So okay, so then last one is he saying Laulyam. This greed, the greed also, that intense greed, this material greed. So that also causes Shadbir Bhaktir Vinashyati. So these are the six, so which we had already completed. Once I wanted to do just recap to bring it in focus of long standing what we had done. So any questions are there, we'll take for a few minutes and then we will.
We have both the associations currently.
Both means?
Worldly mind association also and yoga association.
Yes.
And then the worldly mind association will affect our Krishna consciousness. And we cannot bring them also to that association.
Cut off. We cannot cut off.
Because it is required for activities. It is required for this.
Yes. Yes. So what to do?
The problem is not having that association. The problem is it is overpowering spiritual life. That problem.
So that's why it is said when we are in what is association? Association is not physical. Association is mental. So where is our mind? Am I giving association to them or am I taking association from them? So actually, it is easier said than done. So actually, we are constantly getting vibrations. Just we pass on to road, we are imprinted with newer impressions. We just meet somebody and we hear from him. We are taking his vibrations. So in that sense, constantly we are actually receiving. See, mind is actually like a sponge. It keeps receiving, keeps receiving, keeps receiving. See, and early morning, its absorbent capacity is very high. So that's why they said spiritual absorption. If you can take in the morning, then the whole, then at least it is set in tone, and then the rest of the day at least we can hold on. And so association actually means how much what vibrations are we receiving. So that means, see, if suppose there is no watchman, so now so many construction materials are there. If suppose there are no watchmen, what will happen? Whatever you have accumulated, it will be stolen. Or there is no watchman, neighbors will come and put garbage. Both are true, isn't it? You see this land, or you see the another this side land. So much of garbage also people keep coming and putting. So same thing will happen with our mind. If there is no Krishna conscious Viveka Buddhi, who is standing as watchman, his intelligence is a watchman. If he is not there, then other people will come and put garbage in our mind. And whatever bhakti we have accumulated will get stolen. Both will happen. That's why watchman is required. That's why buddhi has to be strong. If this buddhi is weak, then what happens naturally? If somebody is taking, he'll tell, okay, take. Because if this buddhi is sleeping, so then what happens? There is Viveka is not there. So he'll whatever is accumulated with hard efforts, with so many sometimes years, it is stolen. That bhakti sukriti is stolen, and others will also come and put it. Because now when watchman is Sometimes robbers, they enter. They can do havoc. They can create havoc. That's why the mind creates havoc. After bad association, you see, immediately mind is agitated. That's why buddhi has to be strong and he has to be on guard.
You have a right watchman also.
Ah.
Watchman excels can school.
Virtual answer. That means what? Very important point. What Prabhuji said. Buddhi, actually Shastra say. There are two words which are used. Sumati and Kumati. Actually, Kumati is also Mati only. But he is a inside thief.
Thief or spy, Prabhuji, spy.
Not spy, thief.
Thief.
Spy is on your side. Or on enemy side. That is different. But I am saying, this is a Kumati is a inside thief. Inside he stays, but he steals. So watchman is like that. So material intelligence is actually like this. Material intelligence. That's why in Bhagavatam there is a nice section where it tells how this material intelligence is the one which is keeping the soul in the material world. Because it gives, it fulfills the desires of material mind. So then that's how it keeps making plans in accordance to fulfill them. So then it keeps the soul engaged and engaged in the material world. That's how it has to take. Okay.
On this one question.
Yes.
What is the Prabhuji?
Ah.
Yes, sharing Prabhuji. My last question. My his career was in such a way that he has to study philosophy of other people, and like, which is not correct. And he has
Very
to write
nice.
that in exam.
Very nice.
Same question, like they said, "Hey, you study nicely, like you study and write whatever is needed because you can't pass otherwise. But don't take yourself, and when you become utilize it. But at the time you ask question like, what can I means I can't avoid that association, and I'm taking more and more association, but it is helping me in my duties. Then Prabhuji, you are taking more association here, then you should take more association in good also. Once you are taking there, you add here also. Not like there any more. Like here you should increase the association of
Very nice.
spiritual also. Practically, which helps.
Yeah. Very important point is it. So we should add both sides. Suppose one is adding more material weights, then we should also add more spiritual weights to balance. Otherwise, what happens? So more material weight. Yeah, nice point. Actually, it is true. There are many people, and this at a philosophical level, now it is contaminated, and it becomes a big problem. See, just sensual is different, but philosophical level is a bigger problem because whole ship is only going to change its direction. Because philosophy is going to directly act on intelligence level. So very tough. Okay, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Rupa Goswami Pad.